Today on 10-Minute IT Jams, we're joined by Michael Ehrlich, who's the CTO of IronNet. IronNet was founded by American four-star General Keith Alexander, who was the longest-serving director of the U.S. National Security Agency and the founding commander of the U.S. Cyber Command. Michael joins us today to discuss the history of IronNet and the crucial role the company plays in the cyber defense space. Thanks for coming along, Michael, and welcome to the Jam.
Thanks for having me, Mitchell. Thank you.
Fantastic. So just to start off, can you tell us a little bit about why General Alexander founded IronNet?
Sure. So when he was the head of the U.S. National Security Agency, it was really his job to defend in cyberspace the U.S. government, and he felt that also extended to defending critical infrastructure. The challenge was he had no visibility over anything happening across most of the U.S. government, and certainly no real-time visibility into anything happening in cyberspace against our critical infrastructure companies. So that was one frustration he had. The second frustration he had, and everybody listening to this, if you're a security person, you understand this, is it just takes too long today to find new attacks, right? Pick your attack, whether it's ransomware, right? The wrong time to find it is when a screen comes up on your monitor and says, hey, you've been ransomed, right? The right time to find it is the weeks or months prior. And so he was always frustrated about that. And so when he left service after, I don't know, a few decades of service as a four-star, he formed this little company, IronNet. We've been around for about 8 years now. And we do two things. We help find bad faster. And so we do that through network traffic analysis. So we have a network traffic analysis product. And then we also use information across multiple organizations in what we call a collective defense platform, where we're able to anonymously aggregate a lot of the detection, investigation, and results data and provide this collective defense view to participants. Real-time view across public and private sectors. So that's what he was shooting for when he started the company, and we've made tremendous progress.
Absolutely. Sounds like a very rich history. And in terms of your Iron Defense product, that focuses on network traffic. Why and what purpose does that serve?
Yeah, so there's so many tools out there today. There's EDRs and XDRs and firewalls, and there's all sorts of things out there. We chose to focus on network traffic for one really simple reason. To make the point, let me go back in my history a little bit. I've spent almost 25 years in the cyber industry, 18 of those working for the U.S. intelligence community, the majority of those 18 years developing and deploying offensive capabilities that we use, at a national level against U.S. targets. And I absolutely know that anyone can be breached, right? I know anyone can be breached. A really good adversary is going to be able to subvert your endpoint agents. It's not easy, but the adversary out there, they're smart, they're clever. They can make most of your infrastructure lie to you and look like you were never there, right? That's how a lot of these exploitations go on for years and years and years. But if they want to operate on your network, Mitchell, it has to be there. It has to be there. Can you still hear me okay? Because I've gotten a lot of messages coming up here about my mic.
No,
you can hear me?
Yep, I can hear you absolutely fine.
Okay, super. But that's really why we focus on network traffic analysis and NDR, because as I say, the truth is in the traffic.
Absolutely. And you mentioned a little bit about this whole collective defense area. Can you describe a little bit about what that means?
Yeah, so today, if I were to go into most organizations and ask them a simple question, what's been detected in your network in the last 24 hours? What things are you triaging? And in the last 24 hours, what have you determined to be malicious or benign? They'd be able to tell me, right? But then if I made that a little broader and I said, well, what similar things have been found in, let's say, the rest of Auckland or all of New Zealand or the banking sector in New Zealand, or manufacturing sectors, right? What's happening around you that is similar to what's going on with you today, right now? People would be like, I got no idea. I've got no idea. So the idea behind collective defense is to anonymize a much greater amount of data at a much lower level than we do today from multiple organizations, bring that up into a single platform that we can then analyze that data in aggregate and provide insights back to customers. It helps us drive brand new attack discovery. It helps us drive what I would call crowdsourced SOC operations. It helps drive collaboration, and it helps us provide our customers with something I call attack intelligence. So that's really the idea. Somehow figure out a way to work together in an anonymous fashion, but a very powerful outcome.
Yeah, and attack intelligence, that seems to be a pretty, a big thing at the moment. What does that mean to you guys?
Yeah, so I'll compare attack intelligence to threat intelligence. Everybody knows what threat intelligence is, but I'll give you something you pay for, but I'll give you my definition. Threat intelligence is intelligence that was derived after a breach that you don't know about, that happened sometime in the past, maybe a week, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, that somebody else triaged, is usually delivered without context. And for folks I talk to when they subscribe to threat intelligence feeds, the threat intel they get is rarely actionable, relevant, and timely, right? It's a big pile of stuff. It's like a big pile of jelly beans, and you know that the butterscotch one is in there somewhere, but do I really have to taste all of them to get that one jelly bean that I like? So the difference with attack intelligence is because we have this aggregated view of what's happening across multiple organizations. We can send you just the butterscotch jelly beans, right? We can tell you when things that are happening in other sectors, other organizations in your community, when something has been identified there as malicious, we can tell you in real time that same thing, that jelly bean, is also affecting you. I don't give you a pile of 4,000 jelly beans, I give you 2. And so attack intelligence is relevant, timely, and actionable for the recipient. So it's a subset of threat intelligence. It's the good part. It's the good part.
Absolutely. What a great analogy there. Really contextualizes things. And in terms of organizations willing to participate in collective defense platforms, have you found most of them are willing, and is sharing that kind of data a concern?
So it's gotten much better, right? When we started this 5 years ago, we started with 5 of the largest energy utilities in the U.S. to start this, what we call Iron Dome's collective defense. And it took our developers, I'm not doing them justice, probably 9 months to get the first operational model up and running. It took our lawyers and those companies' lawyers about 2 years to come to an agreement that the companies were willing to share anonymized data in real time with no human intervention. Since that time, we've gotten much better at describing what it is we actually push up to our platform. And so it's much easier to get approval from our customers. And certainly in the US, that is gaining a tremendous amount of traction. In Europe, it's been a little slower. Their GDPR laws are a little more challenging to work through. Not that it affects us at all. It's just the concern, right, that we have to tamp down a little bit. And we actually have this up and running in the Asia Pacific region as well. So nowadays, more companies, more and more organizations realize that, it's not me against the adversary, it's got to be us against the adversary. And so they're starting to see it as a team sport, and they are absolutely willing to contribute.
Absolutely. And great to hear about the Asia Pacific reach. That's really good on our end. Well, again, Michael, thank you so much for joining us today. And we really look forward to hearing more from IronNet in the future.
Well, thanks for having me, Mitchell. Have a great day, everybody.